Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that is very personal, but at the same time that I feel like should be shared more with the world because I'm sure that a lot of young girls or even young boys might be struggling with the same thing. And this is the lack of confidence in yourself, the really bad insecurities, and when you feel like you really hate yourself. And for me, I've struggled with that like my whole teenage years and then maybe beginning of my 20s. Um, and it's really the people who haven't lived this kind of insecurities have a bit of difficulty understanding. Um, but for me, it was to a point where it was pretty severe. So when I was walking past a mirror, I couldn't look at myself because if I looked at myself for too long in the mirror, I could literally sometimes start crying because I hated the way I look. And I was focusing on the smallest things, honestly, which now looking back, it's ridiculous, and let's not even talk about pictures. Like, no one could ever take a picture of me because I already knew how ugly I would look. Did that mean I was ugly? No, of course not. And that's the case for everyone. It's just that when someone has such insecurities, it's really in our mind. So there's literally nothing anyone can say that's going to make you change your mind. And as I said, I know what I'm talking about. Anyone could be like, "Oh, you look so cute," or "No, don't worry, you look fine on that picture." Or when I would look at myself and complain about how bad I felt about myself, and people would be like, "No, don't worry, you look so good. What are you saying?" I was like, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just saying this to make me feel better, or they just don't want me to be upset, so they're saying this kind of thing. But like, never have I believed someone who tried to tell me otherwise than what I thought to be true. And it's kind of sad because when I look back to my teenage years, the only photos of myself I can find are those on Snapchat or Instagram with those crazy filters because that's the only way that I felt I would look acceptable on a picture. So there's literally no normal picture of me from those years because I wouldn't take any of myself without any filter, and I wouldn't let anyone take picture of me too. So it's kind of sad because it really goes deep, this kind of insecurities. And as I said, people who haven't lived it might not be able to understand it. But if you are like this, or if you have been like this, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. And now I'm 26 years old. So if I just go back 10 years ago to the 16 years old me, I always feel so emotional when I think back about that teenage version of myself because I just know how she hated herself. I know that she used to cry in front of a mirror because she was like, "I'm so ugly," and that when she was in a crowd with people, she would avoid talking so that the attention wouldn't go to her because she felt so insecure and ugly that she didn't want anyone looking at her. She didn't want the attention to be on her, and that makes me so sad because when I look at my younger self, I just want to tell her, "You're amazing. You have a great personality. You really have a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity. You're funny, and people wouldn't see, no one saw this version of her because she was hiding. She didn't want people looking at her. She didn't want people even just noticing her, which is so sad because, your teenage years are all about like discovering yourself, learning, make friends, have fun, and for me, my teenage years were like that. And that's why it always makes me so emotional because of course, we cannot go back in time, but I always hurt for that younger version of me. And I'm glad that I'm not at that point of my life anymore. Um, but it doesn't just suddenly go away. And even if I consider myself to be a lot more confident, um, sometimes you can notice those like patterns coming back up. And then for me, it has become really important to now notice when I start talking badly about myself or thinking badly about myself, to really stop myself and say like, okay, wait, listen, what are you saying? And yeah, that's the difficult part about insecurities, especially insecurities that go so deep, you know. So to anyone who might be going through something similar, I just want to say it will not always be like this. And as I said, no one else can change that for you. It really has to come from yourself, and everything starts from your mindset and how you start seeing yourself. And for me, I was like, I'm tired. Why do I keep like hating myself this way? And I remember when I started university, that's when I started slowly changing. Like, first thing, I was like, okay, this is a fresh start. These are new people, new beginning, new school. You can do this. You know, you can do this. Even if you're faking it at first, stop talking badly about yourself. So that was really the first thing, is that I was trying to put myself out there more. So let's say I'm at uni, I just started talking to a new group of people instead of, as usual, just trying to go unnoticed and going to the back so that no one talks to you. I would try to also talk, you know. Let's try to say something too. Why are you trying to disappear? Or when I'm talking with people, I would never allow to speak badly about myself. I used to be the kind of person who would always be like, "Oh, I'm so ugly. I'm so stupid. I'm so, talking badly about myself, not just in private but also in public to other people." And that was also something I started banning. Like, I literally banned myself from saying this kind of thing. And as I said before, unfortunately, it doesn't change just like that. And even up to this day, sometimes I catch myself talking badly about myself. um, but the first thing I try to do when I notice it is like, stop and realize that I just said something negative, and try to make it up and say something positive back, you know. And so that's really the biggest thing that you can start doing it. And as I said, at first it's not going to feel natural, it's going to feel weird, it's going to feel cringy. uh, you're really not going to like it, but you really have to stick to it, because a big part of starting to love yourself is starting to talk positively about yourself. How do you expect other people to love you if you cannot love yourself? How do you expect other people to give you compliments and see you positively if you don't see yourself positively? So it's really important to start respecting yourself, because honestly, this is all about respect. If you respect yourself, you are not going to talk badly about yourself. So if you keep saying, I'm so ugly, I'm so stupid, I'm so clumsy, whatever it is, then I'm sorry, but you don't respect yourself. Because let's say you met someone and you tell them, like, you're so ugly, you're so stupid. They will see it as a lack of respect, right? So why don't you see it the same way for yourself? So it's really important to start talking positively about yourself. You're also a human being, and you also deserve that you speak positively to yourself. So that's really the biggest thing you can do and you can change, is really be careful of how you talk about yourself, and not just when other people are there, even when you're by yourself. Like I said, I used to look at myself in the mirror and just say all these negative things in my mind and think all these negative things. Now that's over. When you see yourself, look at the positive things. Actually, I'm beautiful. Who says that you're not? What are the beauty standards? Why are you not beautiful but someone else is? And I feel like that's really an important shift to make. Another thing that also really helps is to start taking care of yourself, because if you're going through this, you might know what I'm talking about. But when you're so insecure, you neglect yourself, because you're already ugly in your mind. So you're like, what does it what does it matter? What does it change if I wear that nice outfit? What does it change if I try to do my makeup by that trend that I like? Or, whatever it is, you start neglecting yourself, your hair, your makeup, your clothes, whatever it is. But it's time to start taking care of yourself and finding your own style. Don't try to fit in some standard, or don't try to choose your outfit based on what's going to be attracting the minimum attention. If you like an outfit, buy it. When you go out for a walk, dress up. When you're going for a Sunday family meeting, put on something nice. Don't neglect yourself. It's really important that you take care of yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. And you'll notice every time you get ready and you don't just neglect your appearance, you start seeing yourself positively too. I really started taking a lot more care about my appearance. And when I say my appearance, I never changed anything like surgically or something, but it's just that I started wearing the clothes that I wanted to. Every time when I went out, I barely dressed up. I was just wear the most random stuff that I would find. And obviously you're already feeling so insecure. So if you're not secure in your style as well, it makes everything worse. So it's also really important to find your style. The next thing, watch your circle. It's really important to surround yourself with positive people. If you are surrounded by people who are even making it worse, those insecurities that might be telling you that, oh my god, you look so bad, or oh my god, what happened, or whatever it is that they're saying, even if they're not saying it directly like that, but like in some way make you feel bad about yourself, it's time to just move on. Like, seriously, you don't understand the impact your circle has on you. Like, really, it's really important to analyze those friendships around you, and if necessary, to put an end to it, because you come first. You are the most important. If someone doesn't respect you, if someone doesn't treat you the right way, then just leave. And last but not least, what I want to say is, find something that you like doing. Because when you start doing things that you like, you start listening to yourself. You're finding your personality, you're finding your interest, you focus on what you really want to do. You become disciplined because you chose something and now you're really pursuing it. So you're really sticking to your goals. You're honoring your brain's request, let's say. And that also makes you a lot more confident, because when you start getting confident also in your work or your studies or your project, like your sports that you're doing or your art, whatever it is, when you start being confident also on that aspect, it just boosts your overall confidence level. So let's say you're already working a lot on all the other confidence aspect, but you're also feeling confident in your work, you're also feeling confident in your art. It really boosts your confidence on another level. So I would say, whatever you choose to do, whether it be for work or business, art, sports, whatever it is, just stick to it. Promise yourself that you will find that thing that you like, and you're going to stick to it, because this is also a form of self-love, you know to give yourself the life you want, whether it be for your hobbies, for your work. If you wanted to start a business, there's this project you want to do, just stick to it. You have to promise yourself and then really stick to it, because you love yourself, and you love yourself so much that you are not going to give up, and you are going to find something you're good at, and you're going to be confident in doing this thing because you love yourself and you're disciplined. So, yeah, last thing I want to say is that for everyone who might be going through this, or you have gone through this, and you have a bit of difficulty seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, I just want to say it will get better. You will have to work on yourself a lot, but it will get better. And every time I talk about it, I get so emotional, because, as I said, I can see how far I've come, um, and it makes me so sad to imagine a lot of young girls or boys going through this because I know what it is, and I just wish I could show them um, that this is not the end. This is not the end. It's a difficult path for now, but it's not the end, and you can do it. Believe in yourself, and you will see everything will be all right. So remember, guys, always, always love yourself. You come first, okay? Whatever it is in your life, you always come first. Never ever forget that. Okay, I guess that's it for today before I start crying in this video. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you're going through something similar, or if you know someone who has, or if you yourself have been through this in the past, or even if you have some advice or some tips that really help you, please comment and let's share it with everyone. I just want to create a positive community. I want to create an environment where everyone will feel accepted, everyone will feel beautiful, everyone will feel confident. So I'm sure everyone has different experience, and everyone has different um, tips or different ways they may have overcome this. So please feel free to share, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like it if you have enjoyed this video, and to subscribe. See you!